Morning. A local restaurant in Forsyth is partnering with a DeWitt County nonprofit this winter. A historical celebrity annually makes an appearance at the Apple and Pork Festival in Clinton. That story comes up this morning in news. The LIHEAP program helps low-income families with their electric bills, but what about those who utilize gas? A special program starting this year is highlighted next in news. And when Monticello and Prairie Central meet this week on the gridiron, something bigger than postseason positioning will be at stake. Those stories today in news. But first, we stream to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. If you've driven in the Ted's Garage area of Clinton this week, you've likely noticed part of Van Buren Street is closed off. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, Clinton City Administrator Taylor Baxter told regional radio that is because of expansion at Ted's Garage.
Yeah, really good things happening in Clinton. You know, a lot of economic development is people usually think about bringing new businesses into town, but also with economic development, it's expanding existing businesses and helping them grow. And that's what's happening over at Ted's Garage. They have requested to expand, and whenever we have a property that we call it non-conforming, and I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds, but with zoning, there's lot lines and setbacks and things of that nature. So with Ted's Garage, they came before the Planning Commission. They wanted to expand onto their building, and we have given them approval to do that. And part of it was changing the entrance and exit out on Van Buren. So that's what's happening now. They had to work through the Department of Transportation through the state of Illinois to get that approved. But yeah, it's going with me. I saw Dell the other day, and he said the flooring is going in. They're doing a lot of prep work on the inside before they get the addition in. So it's going to look fantastic. I can't wait.
According to Baxter, ownership is going to expand the building to the east and to the south for additional space inside the restaurant.
You know, I don't want to give too much away because I don't know how much Dell is really told about it, but they are expecting to expand on the east side of the building as well as the south end. So they're going to be completely changing the inside as far as the layout. They're going to be adding the kitchen towards the back. There's going to be a bar in there. The seating is going to be a little bit different. The parking is going to be a little bit different on the outside. So really excited for them. They are a staple in Clinton, and it's just a really, really good restaurant and good people there, and we're really excited to see them expand and continue in Clinton.
Also on the morning show Wednesday, Baxter told regional radio about a new bank coming to the community, as well as provided an update on the latest with a new City Hall building. We'll have more with Baxter in the days ahead on regional radio. A local restaurant is partnering with a DeWitt County nonprofit in the months ahead for a fundraiser. Katrina Held with the Friends of the Warner Library explained they will be hosting a fundraiser with Texas Roadhouse in Forsyth in the near future. Until then, they have provided the Friends with free kids' meals and appetizer coupons to give out at this weekend's book sale.
Yes, we actually have a special partnership. We've been talking with the Texas Roadhouse in Forsyth. And we're going to do a fundraiser with them in the fall or winter. But until then, they've given us free kids meal coupons and free appetizer coupons. So those are going to be out on the tables at the book sale. Nice. So if you do nothing else, come get a kids meal or onion blossom on us.
Held explains that her father, who is also part of the organization, made the connection with Texas Roadhouse by just chatting with the manager during dinner one night. The restaurant is already known for hosting fundraisers for local groups and schools, so it was not hard to create a plan.
That's actually a little bit of a funny story. I recruited my dad to help out with Friends because one day I asked him, hey, can you haul some books away to recycling? And so now he's a Friends member. Well, anybody that knows Terry Willis, he's a chatty guy. Well, he goes out to eat, he chats up Texas Roadhouse, and the manager in Forsyth, they talk about, I'm sure folks have heard about different fundraiser nights. I think even the school clubs have done them. And they said, well, why don't Friends do it? So Dad's been chatting up the manager. We've got coupons at the book sale for Texas Roadhouse.
Sure.
We're going to do one of those fundraising evenings in the fall or winter to kind of fill in that gap between book sales.
Held says in addition to a variety of literature genres, you'll also find digital media this weekend like DVDs, CDs, and the occasional video game at their annual book sale. Like books, all of those items are also only $1.
We have a lot of everything, and actually just the other day we got a lot of what we call cozy mysteries and inspirational fiction. Both of those are kind of, there might be a murder in the story, but it's not gory or anything like that. Just something you curl up by the fire and read. We just got a donation of some of those. And we just have everything. We even have some old books from like the 30s and 20s that pop up, and those are $1. We take and sell donations like DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs. Those are also $1. Like, where else can you get a Blu-ray for $1 these days?
No question.
Some of them are brand new. Some people are moving to streaming, and they just donate their collection. Every once in a while, we do get a video game.
Okay.
It's just random what we get.
Gotcha.
But if a PlayStation game ends up in there, it's $1.
The event, again, is this weekend, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday at the Warner Library. Learn more about the piles of books by visiting vwarner.org/friends-of-the-library. A historical celebrity annually makes an appearance at the Apple and Pork Festival in Clinton. Abraham Lincoln and his ties to the C.H. Moore homestead brought Mr. Lincoln to Clinton the last weekend of September. Mr. Lincoln says people often want to know why he returns to Clinton for the annual festival.
Well, most people want to know why am I here, and about this fellow named Clifton H. Moore. So I explained my friendship with Mr. Moore and our business relationship as well, working on cases together, sometimes working on opposite sides of cases.
Yeah, tell us about your relationship with Mr. C.H. Moore.
Well, he was the first resident attorney in the city of Clinton. And so when I started riding the circuit, the first time I rode the circuit was about 1839. And I don't remember when I met Mr. Moore exactly, but for 20 years I'd ride the circuit. And DeWitt County, most of those years, was part of that 8th Judicial Circuit. So twice each year I was here, 2-3 days, generally speaking.
Mr. Lincoln and Mr. Moore shared a similar path into the world of practicing law. Mr. Lincoln explains neither went to law school and, in fact, used libraries as their means to understand and practice law.
Got to know him very well. He and I became good friends. We had a lot in common. You know, we both became lawyers, not by going to law school, but by getting the books and studying on our own. Self-study. That's how we became lawyers. He loved books. I love books. I didn't have many books myself at home, but he had lots of books. He had the largest private collection, library collection in downstate Illinois. And he would actually lend me books. In fact, I hear they found one of those books a few years ago. It's at the library here, the Vespasian Warner Library. It's called Types of Mankind, a book that I borrowed from him. And we know it because I wrote in the inside page there a little note to remind myself to return it to C.H. Moore.
Mr. Lincoln was quite an athlete as a young man, and during downtime when he would visit Clinton, they would have long jump competitions. Mr. Lincoln points out he was also quite the wrestler.
We had long jump competitions. I remember here in Clinton, there was a feller, I could beat them all except this one feller, and he was part Indian and part black, and he could out-jump all of us. I was known as the rail splitter. Yeah, splitting a lot of rails. And I ran a foot race over in Champaign one time. I won that. Yeah. And I was known to be a very fine wrestler. Began growing up on the frontier. Wrestling's just something the young men do. But when I moved to New Salem, this fella, I was working in a store, and I was a clerk, and the owner of the store, Denton Offit, began bragging on me. Say, look at this new clerk of mine, Abe Lincoln. He can beat any of you boys. Yeah, fine for him to say. You don't have to wrestle. So Jack Armstrong come in the store, biggest, strongest man in town. He said, I'll take him on. I had to wrestle Jack Armstrong.
Yeah.
And he and I went at it. We're pretty even. And then his friends joined in. Larry's Grove boys. In any event, that wasn't fair, was it? But I'd held my own up to that point. So Jack Armstrong accepted me as a friend. His gang accepted me as a friend. Pretty soon the whole town accepted me as a friend.
Splitting rails was one of the first skills Mr. Lincoln learned growing up in central Illinois. He says a lesser-known fact about the rail splitting was those were, in fact, used as fence rails.
And actually, people might not know this, the rails we split generally were to make fences.
Yes, sure.
So when we moved to Decatur, first time I moved to Illinois, I was 21, lived in Macon County, about 10 miles west of what today is the town of Decatur, and we had to fence in our 10 acres of land. So I got busy splitting rails. And then my cousin and I, we kept splitting rails because the neighbors wanted rails too. Yeah, you have to have fences to keep the neighbors' animals out, keep your own animals in. So I did a lot of splitting rails. And 30 years later, when Decatur hosted the state Republican convention in Illinois in 1860, my cousin, who still lived there, went out and found 2 of those rails that he said that I split. And these were carried in the convention hall in Decatur, where I was proclaimed the rail splitter candidate for president.
There you go.
Visitors to the Apple and Pork Festival take pictures and talk to the former president. He is quite the celebrity on the grounds of the C.H. Moore homestead year after year, offering presentations every few hours on the front lawns. The LIHEAP program assists with electric bills for low-income families, but what about those gas bills? That portion is a discount that will be rolled out next year. Anita Russell with Community Action explains the LIHEAP program is focused on giving a discount rate on the gas portion of utility bills for people who qualify for LIHEAP. The discount you receive depends on your income levels.
Okay, so what LIHEAP has introduced, this is in collaboration with Ameren, is a low income discount rate. So what that is somebody who applies for LIHEAP is able to get a discount towards the gas portion of their bill. So it is only, unfortunately, for Ameren and Nicor gas utilities at this time. So I just kind of want to touch on this a little bit, that even though it's only for Ameren and Nicor, so when people come in and they have propane, they are going to get a much higher benefit because they are not eligible for this program. So
Okay.
I don't want them to feel like, people with propane, like, what about us? We're getting left out. You're getting a higher LIHEAP benefit than the people that will be in this program. But what actually happens is you have to apply for LIHEAP to be able to get it. And then when you apply, our systems communicate with Ameren. So when that happens, they put you in a tier based on how many's in your household and your household income.
This can be confusing, but essentially means if there are no funds left in LIHEAP and later LIDER, you should still apply so you can receive the discount on your bill.
Absolutely, because in order to get that discount, you have to apply for LIHEAP. So unfortunately, it's like even if we're out of funding, we want to make sure that you're getting that discount on your bill. Anything's going to help because we know the cost of energy bills right now. So even if we tell you our funding's exhausted, you still need to apply for LIHEAP so that way we can get that tier communicated to Ameren or Nicor Gas so that they can get the discount as well.
You can find out more information on the program by visiting capsule.info or calling the Capsule office at 217-732-2159. When Monticello meets Prairie Central this week on the gridiron, something bigger than postseason positioning will be at stake. The two schools are spending the week raising money for breast cancer awareness. Monticello High School Principal Travis Corson indicates it's part of the activities for Pink Out Week at Monticello High School.
Yeah, so next week is our Pink Out Week. So our volleyball game against Prairie Central will be Volley for the Cure. And then next Friday against Prairie Central football team, we'll have our Pink Out game. And all week long, our students are going to be gathering donations for breast cancer awareness. Prairie Central is going to do the same thing on their end. And then next Friday, we will team up with Prairie Central and present a large donation where all the proceeds will go to breast cancer awareness.
The Pink Out Week is highlighted by buckets set up for the 4 captains of the football team, and money is put into those buckets. Corson explains the bucket with the most money in it will see that captain kiss a goat at the end of the week.
Probably the biggest highlight is the 4 captains of the football team. There's a pink bucket that's been in the school building. Kids can donate money in the buckets. The captain who has the most money will kiss a goat on Friday. Most of our Pep Club students are in there doing that. It's something we do every year. Mrs. Stetson, Pep Club sponsor, she organizes the whole week. This year really started off last year where some of our current seniors who were juniors last year, who are a part of the Pep Club, they're like, you know what, next year's going to be better. And a few of them I pull aside, I'm like, I'm going to hold you to it. And they've just been phenomenal all year long.
Corson credits the students for coming up with or even implementing ideas they see on social media. He is proud of the Your Impact My Jersey initiative students and extracurricular activities do during senior night week.
They're coming up with different ideas, even through social media like TikTok videos. We have the My Impact or Your Impact My Jersey initiative, where athletes, band members who during their senior night week, they will go out to teachers in the district who have had an impact on them. They give them a T-shirt, which is supposed to symbolize a jersey, and it's Your Impact My Jersey. I was fortunate enough last week to receive one from Andrew Neff as he was on his way to regionals or for his senior night. And it's a nice reminder to our staff that you never know what you're going to say or do that's going to have an impact on a kid.
Yeah.
And our students have given several elementary teachers these jerseys. If you could imagine being an elementary teacher and you have a senior that you taught 8 years ago, let's say, and they come walking into your door in your classroom unexpected, and they want to say thank you for everything you did for me.
Yeah.
I'm recognizing you now. You talk about some tears. It's emotional, but it's well deserved by our staff.
Here tonight's Monticello volleyball action, hosting Prairie Central on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. And here Friday's football action, hosting Prairie Central at the same place. News brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. Network News is now.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers a full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton or Farmer City. This is what we strive to do each and every day. We'll listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that is knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
The government has approved nearly $2 billion in assistance across 6 states to help people hit hard by Hurricanes Helene and Milton. A man has been arrested for animal cruelty after authorities say he abandoned his dog along a highway during last week's hurricane evacuation in Florida. The dog was found alive in floodwaters up to his chest. He's been placed with a foster family. The Dow closed at a new record high yesterday. This is SRN News.
WHOW Combine Reports are brought to you by our title sponsor,
Apex Clean Energy, harvesting the seeds for a better future in Illinois.
Also brought to you by
Whitful's Hybrids and your local Whitful's Hybrids seed dealer.
Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton,
where you'll find the official truck of the Combine Reports, the 2025 Chevy Silverado.
Along with the Macon County Farm Bureau, AAK Mechanical, Peterson Insurance,
State Bank of Bement,
Illinois Corn Marketing Board, Farm Credit Illinois, Maroa Ag, the McLean County Farm Bureau, Nancy Metal, and Beck's Hybrids, and the area's Beck's Hybrid seed dealers.
Fall field work is here and ROAG is ready. Sean Byte's here to remind you to book your fall fertilizer application now. Moreau Ag offers variable rate application of potash, lime, DAP, and all dry fertilizers. Plus, we offer liquid fertilizer and anhydrous application as well. Let us at Moreau Ag assist you this fall so you'll be ready to plant next spring.
At Whitful's Hybrids, we like to speak in metaphors. For example, when it's seed decision time and you're at that fork in the road and time is money, you might want to choose a partner that's a little more underdog, a little more David than Goliath. Because you deserve a family-owned company that marches to the beat of their own drum, whose product lineup and customer service is the whole enchilada, the whole ball of wax, the whole kit and caboodle. Whitful's Hybrids. Plant your independence.
The State Bank of Bement is a better way to bank and a better way to get the agricultural financing you desire. Ag Lender Tom Kenny here. Ag lending has been a foundation of our bank for decades. We understand what a farmer needs from their bank and when they need it. From real estate to equipment to financing to putting in crop, the State Bank of Bement is a better way for farmers to bank. Stop by and see me, Tom Kenny, and find out what we mean. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Farmers at heart. At Beck's, that's who we are. For over 100 years, the Beck family has lived and farmed in central Indiana. Today, we're proud to serve a dedicated community of farmers in Illinois. To us, helping farmers succeed means so much more than just being a great seed supplier. Our family of employees and dealers are committed to helping farmers seek new challenges, push boundaries, and innovate in an ever-changing industry. That's what makes Beck's different. We love what we do. We are and will remain farmers at heart.
I'm Randall J. Miller. In this report, we visit with David Dorn Jr., who's a farmer in Christian, Shelby, and Montgomery counties. We visited with him on October 4th. July and August, did your fields not get the water? A lot of farmers I've talked to said that the spigot was off in July and August for them.
August especially. Yep, and we're seeing it in our beans. I know I've heard some tremendous bean yields, but ours are good, but nothing record like everybody thought it was going to be, at least on our farm. I think it was timing. You know, the maturity that we planted early, and then no rain in August. I think the beans were far enough along before the Labor Day weekend rain, you know, that they couldn't take advantage, and it did hurt them.
I've heard that from other farmers that the lack of rain, July and August, took the top off the yield, and also it's making these test weights a bit lighter on the beans.
We've seen that as well. Right, I agree. Yep, same thing.
On the corn side, happy with yields there despite lack of rain?
Yeah, I mean the corn's been what we've done. The early stuff, it's been good. We've had better, you know, over the years, but I can't complain. It's been, you know, yields have been good.
Good deal.
I
Dave,
don't really have a sense of an average yet.
Yeah. Do you do regular rotation, corn and beans, or do you lean more one way or the other, Dave?
No, we're pretty much a 50-50 rotation every year. You know, I know a lot of times people try to chase prices if one's higher than the other, and to do that, but we've kind of stayed the course. And for, like you said, disease pressure too, it seems like you can break that cycle if you do continue to rotate. But
well, that constant bean or constant corn also takes a toll on the soil, doesn't it? Because then you're going to have to spend some money to put those nutrients back.
True, yeah, it does make a difference on your fertility as well. You have to do a little more maintaining if you do concentrate on one crop.
Yeah. Look at the 25. Are you looking to do about the same thing in terms of corn bean rotation? Going to be rotating from one to the other depending on the field?
As of right now, yeah, I don't see anything changing. We've kind of, you know, been making some fertility plans, and yeah, so far I don't think we'll do anything different, but we'll kind of watch things as we go here.
That's David Dorn Jr., who farms in Christian, Shelby, and Montgomery counties. On this Combine Report, we visited with Dave on October 4th. I'm Randall J. Miller.
In Illinois, 96% of farms are family-owned and operated. I'm Felicity.
I'm Audrey.
And I'm Christian. We are farm kids from Peoria County.
And our family is part of that 96%.
Our mom and dad are passionate about growing safe food and fuel.
And about farming better today than yesterday.
If you want to learn more about Illinois farm families like ours,
visit www.watchusgrow.org/corn.
This message is brought to you by the Illinois Corn Checkoff.
Apex Clean Energy is an American veteran-led energy company harvesting the wind across the country. Their projects have received broad support from local farmers and landowners, and participation is 100% voluntary. Landowners who choose to host wind energy on their land will receive decades of steady revenue, and communities receive local property taxes to fund our schools, roads, first responders, and more. Let's harness the wind and leave a legacy for generations to come. To learn more, go to apexcleanenergy.com/landowners.
During harvest, downtime is not only lost time, but lost productivity and potentially lost profit. When your equipment is down in the field and you need a mobile welding job right now, call the professionals at AAK Mechanical in Clinton, 935-8501. That's 935-8501. AAK Mechanical's mobile welding unit will be on their way to fix that problem and get harvest going again. Put this number in your smartphone, 935-8501, for the mobile welding service from AAK Mechanical in Clinton.
We all know that the price of almost everything has increased recently, but you might not know the price of lumber and even the steel used in Mansi Metals post-frame buildings, roofing, and siding has actually come down. Now could be a great time to install a new metal roof or put up a pole barn designed to last. To talk about your project with one of their building specialists, visit Mansi Metals showroom weekdays on Route 121 in Mount Zion or right now at manseametal.com, MANSEA metal.com.
As harvest begins, we're reminded that a farmer's work doesn't stop once the crop's in the ground, just as Farm Credit Illinois doesn't stop working for you after closing. FCI member owners can reprice their rates at no cost as the market allows. Plus, annual cash patronage payments can lower your interest rate even more. As farmers are hard at work this harvest season, Farm Credit Illinois reflects on the year with gratitude for our cooperative members and wishes you a safe and bountiful fall. Visit farmcreditil.com to learn more about FCI's cooperative advantages.
WHOW Combine Reports are brought to you by our title sponsor, Apex Clean Energy, harvesting the seeds for a better future in Illinois. Also brought to you by Whitful's Hybrids and your local Whitful's Hybrids seed dealer. Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, where you'll find the official truck of the Combine Reports, the 2025 Chevy Silverado. Along with the Macon County Farm Bureau, AAK Mechanical, Peterson Insurance, State Bank of Beeman, Illinois Corn Marketing Board, Farm Credit Illinois, Maroa Ag, the McLean County Farm Bureau, Mansi Metal, and Beck's Hybrids, and the area's Beck's Hybrid seed dealers.
108,000.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. Major League Baseball, the LA Dodgers take a 2-1 lead in the National League Championship Series by blanking the New York Mets 8-0.
Los Angeles scored 200 runs in the second, taking advantage of catcher Francisco Alvarez's throwing error. Will Smith and Tommy Edman drove in the runs off Mets starter and loser Luis Severino. The Dodgers then doubled their lead to 4-0 in the sixth on Kike Hernandez's 2-run homer off Reed Garrett. Shohei Ohtani then sealed it with a towering 3-run homer in the eighth off Tyler McGill to make it 7-0 L.A.
That's correspondent Tom Merriam reporting. Meanwhile, the New York Yankees and Cleveland Guardians play Game 3 of the American League Championship Series this afternoon in Cleveland. New York holding a 2-0 lead in that series. NFL news, Davante Adams expects to make his debut for the New York Jets on Sunday night at Pittsburgh. The star wide receiver was acquired from Las Vegas on Tuesday. This is SRN Sports. In the NHL, the Boston Bruins pick on a struggling opponent.
The Bruins held off a late charge from Colorado to defeat the Avalanche 5-3. Boston coach Jim Montgomery.
Best team game we've had so far this year, and I thought it was a complete 60-minute effort. You know, they're a really good team, and they're going to have their moments, but I thought that really liked our poise.
The Bees got 5 goals from 5 guys, but it was Charlie Coyle's power play tally in the first period that gave his team the lead for good at 2-1. Meanwhile, the tough times continue for Colorado. With the defeat, the Avs opened the season with 4 consecutive defeats for the first time since 1998-99. Bruce Morton, Denver.
Other winners included Pittsburgh, Toronto, and Anaheim. In the WNBA, the New York Liberty beat the Minnesota Lynx 80-77, taking a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 finals. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. After its big win over Paxton Buckley Lota this week, Illinois AP Sports Writers rewarded Monticello with its first appearance in the high school football rankings in a few years. The Sages come in at number 8 in this week's Class 3A high school football poll. The Sages take over the place of Eureka, who dropped to number 9. Princeton remains at number 10 this week. Byron keeps its stronghold on the top spot in 3A, followed by Wilmington at number 2. Montini and St. Joe Ogden swap places at 3rd and 4th, followed by Monmouth Roseville up a spot to round out the top 5. In Class 1A, the top 3 of this week's rankings remain unchanged. Belleville Althoff Catholic is number 1, followed by Lena Winslow and Leroy. GCMS moves up a spot to number 4 this week, and Camp Point Central rounds out the top 5. Casey Westfield, that is, Calhoun, Princeville, Newman Central Catholic, and Cesar Valier round out the 1A top 10. Maroa Forsyth remains in the top spot in Class 2A, followed by Farmington. Bismarck Henning makes a big jump from number 6 to number 2 this week, followed by Quincy Notre Dame and Tri-Valley to round out the top 5. Chester, Johnston City, Alla, Memphis, and Chicago Christian round out the top 10 in Class 2A. In Class 4A, Rochester remains number 6, while Normal U-High jumps a spot to number 8. The Class 3A top 5 is unchanged, with Breeze Central number 1 again this week, followed by Dixon, St. Lawrence, Wheaton Academy, and Montino. The top 3 of Class 5A is unchanged, with Nazareth Academy coming in at number 1, followed by Sycamore and Joliet Catholic. Peoria jumps 2 spots to number 4, followed by St. Francis, rounding out the top 5. Mahomet Seymour jumps into this week's rankings in 5A at number 10. In Class 6A, East St. Louis is the top team once again, as the top 5 remains unchanged. Cary Grove, Geneva, Kankakee, and Liberty rounds out the top 5. Bloomington High School jumped into this week's rankings at number 10. In Class 7A, there's a new number 1. Chicago Mount Carmel takes over the top spot after Downers Grove North is lost to Lions last week. Quincy is number 2. Normal Community remains at number 6 and received a first-place vote. Batavia, Downers Grove North, and St. Charles round out the top 5 in Class 7A. In 8A, Lincoln Way East remains number 1. Get the latest in sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the Big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus, hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10, all brought to you by the Clinton Sports Boosters, Liberty Village, and the Clinton Community YMCA.
This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans from Peoria to the Indiana state line to listen for Panther football again this fall on WHOW's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online. EIU Panther football is part of WHOW's great weekend sports programming schedule, including a Best of Clinton Maroon sports broadcast and CBS Sports Radio. We'll bring you every Panther game start to finish right here on Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and sports station, WHOW.
Hi, Ryan.
We're here for the wedding.
The wedding was a month ago. You were supposed to be my best man.
Told you he'd be upset. Sorry. See, we were headed to the church when we heard a radio spot for a furniture store.
We really needed new end tables.
And while we were paying for those end tables...
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. Jen heard a radio commercial for a 3-day spa package at a big fancy hotel.
Oh, Ryan, it was so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Anyway, we're lounging by the pool.
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. I'm listening to a podcast on my phone.
When he hears an ad about a direct flight...
to a resort in the Galapagos Islands.
What?
Again, Ryan? So beautiful.
So beautiful. Anyway, we're just getting ready to fly home, and what do we hear?
Let me guess. A radio commercial.
For a car dealership. Tell him what we did.
Here's what we did. We bought a car and decided to drive home.
You can't drive home from the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, did we feel foolish when we found that out?
I really thought it would float.
Radio goes where we go. A message from the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station. They brought you this message.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Thursday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans lower, and wheat finishing Wednesday higher. December corn closing 404 3/4, up 3.5. March corn up 3, 420.5. May corn 428 3/4, up 2 3/4. November beans closing 980, down 11. January beans down 9.5, 994, and March beans 1007 3/4, down 9. December Chicago wheat finishing 585, up 5.5. March wheat up 4.5, 605 1/4. May wheat 616, up 4.5. December bean meal 313.70, that's up $1.90. December bean oil 41.68, down 77 cents. Current electronic overnight trading, December corn down 1.5 pennies. March corn down 1.5 pennies. May corn also down 1.5 pennies, 4.27 1/4. November beans in the overnight down 5 3/4. January beans down 6. May beans